Eileen Nash. Join me every week as we meet interesting people who will teach you new, creative ways to manage stress and embrace vitality in your life. Grab a cup of tea and join me for this adventure. On this first episode of Restore Your Caring Soul, you will find out about the show's purpose and how it came into being. We will explore altar making with intention. I'm going to clean up an old altar in a startling way and remake it with a brand new concept. My daughter, Valerie Nash, will explain how to create and use a personal altar on a daily basis. Lastly, I will lead you through a creative process to source your fondest goals by creating a Mojo Bag of Dreams.
Hi. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about why this show exists. It was not particularly my dream, but when it landed in my lap, I realized that I had to do it. And so my background is I'm a science nerd, and I also like to have a lot of fun. And I spent 2 decades being a nurse, and then I went into business, so I'm also a business person. I have a very focused mind, but you're not going to see that here. You're going to see this whole other world that I have going on, and that's been the most healing type of things in my life. I'm doing it because I feel like actually this is my life's purpose, is to help other people heal their stories. I'm bringing different guests and different topics in the hopes that it will be something that will feed your soul, because all of these things, the guests that I have and the topics that we discuss, sometimes they're edgy or a little woo-woo or whatever, but they're portals. They're just a way to dabble in some new ways to experience things. The show has a pretty sort of spiritual basis, and I based that on the fact that you hear people talk about how stressed they are all the time. People are plugged in 24/7, and you can get to this place where you've run and done everything you can do, and you're trying to meet all these commitments and different roles, and then you say, like, what happened? How did I get here? And so I've had that experience actually multiple times, and so I want to help you whenever you're feeling that way perhaps. One of my missions is I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. I believe that each person has some unique quality that they're going to bring to the world. And it's like your inner magic, your inner wisdom. And so that's why my tagline is authentic connection with your inner wisdom. So the people that you're going to meet are artists, they're poets, they might be body workers. They're going to talk about a lot of different things. Animal guides, how to move your body. There's a lot of creativity on this show as well. But the thing that I would like for you to experience is that basically I absolutely know that there's no one else like you, just like there's no one else like me. And if any of these things call to you, give them a try and see what happens, see what bubbles up. It might be seen, as I said, like a California woo-woo show, but this stuff is real, it works. I'm not here wasting my time. This is something that's really important to me. And the people have been chosen because they're healers. In some way, they're healers. So where I'm going to come from with the intentional creativity portion of this, which this show is basically about using your intention in a creative way. Where I want to intersect with you is that people have many times quit believing that there's something special and unique about them. And it's just not true. If you go back in time and maybe you like to draw, or you like to dance, or you like to sing, oh, I love to sing, and then other people said, that is no good. You cannot sing, you don't know how, or that painting, it's ridiculous. I don't know why that happens, but it happens to everybody. But the deal is you start to incorporate that and you start to believe it, and so then you're not singing and you're not dancing and you're definitely not painting. So you can do this in the privacy of your own home. You can watch this show. You can say, oh, that looks pretty, that looks like fun. It looks like she's laughing, and just give it a try. And I'm so glad you're here on Restore Your Caring Soul. We'll be right back.
Hi, so today we're going to be talking about building your own altar, or why would you build an altar. And I wanted to show you how my altar looked. I've been working in this space for about 15 years, and my altar has gotten stagnant. I still have pictures and mementos from when my son was in kindergarten and first grade, and he's 22 now. So I don't need to hold that energy any longer. So I'm going to be showing you today, we're going to go from this messy altar, and I'm going to be creating a whole new space and decluttering. Earlier you saw my very messy and congested altar. I have cleansed the altar with essential oils appropriate for each level, and I'm building this uber altar. So what I'm going to do here is, in this TV series, we're going to talk about the 7 energy centers of the body, and I've started a painting. It's a work in process, and these are the 7 energy centers of the body, and they correspond, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few moments. This first red one is the root chakra. Here is the sacral chakra. Here is the sort of power center in your abdomen. Here is the heart center, your voice, your throat, and then here's your intuition, and then here's the crown chakra. So what I've decided to do, since I'm on a new journey with this TV show, and you're joining me, thank you, I decided to build my altar with these concepts in mind. So on the first level, this is about your security, your place in the world, your ability to be here. And the element that it covers is the earth. And one of the challenges with this particular energy center is fear. I have placed some items that have great meaning for me. One is a set of pictures from my family. This second level, I'm going to be exploring with my emotional identity. The element is water, and one of the challenges with it is guilt. And so when you're exploring that, this is about to feel and to want. On this level, I have some photographs of my marriage and a 30-year-old candle from when I had my first business. It was a bath salt business with color therapy. On the third level is, so this is sort of your power center in your abdomen. The color associated is yellow. So this level is your ego identity. The element is fire. The issue that's dealt with is shame. And the gestalt of it is to act. And essential oils that I used to clean this were cedar wood and bergamot. Here on this level, this is the heart level. I work with this quite a bit. This is a chalice. It's actually in some of my paintings, and it was from my grandma's house. It's like rose quartz and lavender and geranium I used here to clean this area. And this is your social identity. The element is air, and the right of it is to love and be loved. One of its challenges is feeling grief. Now this level is the throat. This is about having your voice, being able to speak and be heard. The color associated with it is blue, and I have some of these things are from my childhood, but one of them, this is something that I've been working on, and that butterfly is a symbol of transformation. The essential oils with this particular throat chakra to enhance it are cypress and peppermint. This is the 6th chakra. It's sort of between your eyebrows, and this is the center of your intuition. It's your ability to perceive, and the essential oil that is associated with it is rosemary. And so I particularly, this is something for my marriage, but this is the Nancy Drew book. She inspired me as a young girl. This is why this has meaning for me. She was always being a sleuth, and I feel like that's what I do in my corporate job, where I do research and I clean things up and I'm very focused. Now this is the crown chakra. It has to do with higher consciousness, and the gemstone associated with it is the amethyst. Essential oils that are at the same sort of vibrational level are rose and frankincense. So in this area, since this is sort of your spiritual consciousness, I have an icon with divine feminine figure in it, and I have an award I got. We were #1. We brought in a study. It was many years ago, but it was my highest achievement, and it created my career. I invite you to make your own altar and it doesn't have to be this elaborate. It could just be a small space. But if there's something that you want to work on, and there are things that will inspire you and hold meaning for you and remind you of your path, make a small altar. It will have great meaning for you.
I'm here with my altar. This is the place that I meditate and say prayer to every day. And I just wanted to share with you my process around how I built and compiled my altar and how I use it and what it means to me. So I find that it's hard to establish a meditation practice. So for me, it was really helpful to have a set place that I would always meditate, especially in my room, so that it was a constant reminder of like, okay, I didn't sit yet today. And while I'm not a religious person, I have been inspired by a lot of the different philosophies of different religions. So I have compiled my altar out of things that felt good to me and inspired me. And I would stress to you that when you're building your altar, you don't have to feel pressured to make it look like the way I did it. It's a personal thing, and you can put things that inspire you or make you feel, beautiful or in touch with your higher self, or, it's your personal place that helps you connect to your highest self and your most bountiful self. So there's a couple things that I do every day with the altar. Well, mainly it's just that I put fresh flowers on it every day, and that really helps me to feel fresh and like I'm honoring myself when I come and sit to do meditation. I put a piece of fresh fruit. I like that idea as an offering. That feels really good to me, and it's also seeing a beautiful, bright piece of fruit connecting me with the earth, which is something that is really sacred to me. I also put up pictures of different spiritual teachers that I follow. I put up a picture of my dog who passed away. So, and actually I got this altar in Chinatown, and I grew up in San Francisco, which has a really large Chinese culture. And so I grew up being at my friends' houses where they had altars honoring their grandparents and people that passed. And that really touched me. I felt like that was a really wonderful way to connect with and honor people that have passed in our lives. And, I have certain goddesses. I have Yamaya, and I have Jesus and Mother Mary. I have Green Tara, Saraswati, Lakshmi. This is Ganesh stone statue. So like I said, I'm not Hindu or Buddhist. These are just images that have really inspired me. For example, Ganesh is about wisdom and about breaking through obstacles. So is Saraswati. And I have Lord Buddha here. So I just keep, I feel like this is kind of like my upliftment team. So I encourage you to really explore with images that you can just print off of Google images and just paste things up, and you're always free to change and evolve your altar. This is a really important place for me to connect and feel grounded, to encourage my practices of prayer and meditation. And it's just, I love it. And so I encourage you to build your altar, let it be something that evolves over time, and have a sacred, safe space for you every day that you connect with.
Hi everybody. Today we're going to make Mojo Dream Bags. These are really simple, but very powerful. So it's going to be created in the tradition that I've been taught as a Color of Woman teacher. And so we'll do a guided visualization, and we're going to sort of think about our dreams, like just any dream that you have, even if you think it's way out there, or maybe it's just a simple dream. And so we've got watercolor paper. This is the finished Mojo bag, and we're going to work with glitter, Sharpies, paints, and red thread. We're going to start by doing a guided visualization. If you're having trouble, like even just starting this visualization, I'd like for you to think for a moment that if I said the word, if you had your eyes closed and I said apple, and you can see an apple, or you could see a flower or a bird. If you can see those things, then you can do this. So you're sitting in your chair, you've taken a deep breath. I want you to be really present in your body. And you extend that sort of taproot down. You can make it as big as your body. Make sure you're really grounded, because we're going to connect with the cosmos. So send that down through the floor, through the ground, down to what you could visualize as the center of the earth. And I want you to imagine that it's either in the middle of the night or just before dawn. And you are in an open field. You're in a safe place, and you're looking up at the sky. And you see all these beautiful stars. And you just feel surrounded by the beauty of the cosmos, the wonders of our world. And you look up and you notice there's a constellation, and it looks like a divine feminine figure, a beautiful woman. And so you're good. Amazing. And then as you look, she puts her hand out for you, and from it comes a spiral staircase of stars from this beautiful constellation of a feminine image. Deep breath. This is an amazing thing you're seeing, and you decide. She looks at you and nods, and you feel that you're completely safe, and you walk up the stairway of stars, and you stand before her, and she's like someone from your lineage, like your grandmother or your mother or your great-great-grandmother, and you're looking at her, and she says, "What are your dreams? What do you hold in your heart?" And so she invites you to sit on her lap like you're a little baby, and she cradles you, holding you safe, and you start to think about your dreams. As you sit and know that there aren't any ones, don't bring in any judgment, any dream that you hold close in your heart. And then this star lady gives you a star in your hand. And she said, "Little one, this star's name is Believe. And I want you to keep this tucked in your pocket. And when you think about your dreams, I want you to think about this star and believe." So this beautiful gift that you've been given, you give thanks, and you come down
the starry spiral staircase back down here to the room, and you kind of move your feet around, feel yourself in the chair. Take another breath and open your eyes. So today I am at the Musea Sophia in Sonoma. It's actually the studio of my teacher. These are her paintings behind me. And she's invited me to share this Mojo Dream Bag with you. So what I would like for you to do is to get a marker. Like I have all colorful markers. If you just have pencil, that's okay. And I'm actually going to draw. So what I've done, actually, this is important because it'll make it easier later. I've folded this and we'll cut it, and it'll be already connected at the bottom. So, you know, you've seen those bags. They're like a sack with a drawstring. So you'll see that the stars I'm going to make, they're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I just want them to be able to fit inside of this bag so I can have some pretty big dreams. So there are lots of ways to draw stars. You can draw it with a circle in the middle and bring that down and make triangles off to the side. You can do it like this. I mean, I'm an artist, but I'm not maybe a fine artist. I've gotten to where I don't judge myself. And by the way, if you have an inner critic telling you, what are you doing? You don't know how to do this. You just say, you've helped me in the past sometimes to keep safe in different situations, but I'd like for you to just take a walk. And while I do this fun thing with Eileen, so you've traced and cut out your stars, and then those dreams that you thought about when you were sitting in the lady's lap, write those messages on your stars, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. The thing is that you're infusing these with your dream. Every time I ever wrote down a goal, it will happen. It might not be the way I thought it was going to happen, but my intention is good. So these are ready to be prepared. Inside my bag, I've written believe. And if you have one, you can get a spray bottle. It's really useful with watercolor paper. And I'm going to paint some words. I love to think about the cosmos and Our Lady in the sky, who was listening. She was like our ancestor, listening to my dreams and how I want this show to help people, how this has been a very powerful practice for me. And I even do things with my husband and my kids. And that it's okay for me to have some dreams. And you can see, obviously I'm not Picasso, but I'm putting my mojo in here. I love working with glitter. It's like, it might even like you feel like you're a little girl or a young person, but it's a fun thing. So I'm actually not going to paint these. I'm going to do all glitter because I like that. And You just pick the colors that you want. Nobody's going to be given a grade on this because you're up to this task. A lot of times when I'm writing my messages that were maybe about something deep that happened to me or something I'm exploring, I'm not really interested in anybody else seeing it. That's just the way I am. Some people are, Every time I look at my little green Mojo bag, I remember what these dreams are, and that just helps me get them to start coming true. All right, so we've got this here, and we're going to add some dimension to it. That's really simple. You'll see in a moment. Let me get this first color on. When something is going back, you make it darker. Now you don't have to have a hole punch. I just do because I do. You can just punch a hole in it. So I have punched these holes in here because we want to close our delicious little Mojo bag. So all the time that I've been making this, I've been thinking about those little dreams, my big dreams. They're big dreams. I want this show to help people, and I have my own goals too, but this is something bigger than me. But so you can punch holes however you need to do it with make them with a knife, and then we take red thread because that's part of my art tradition, is to work with the red thread, and we're just gonna sort of sew it in a way. So I've just tied the yarn, the red thread on each side, and I've laced it up and pull it through that last little bit. So what I'm going to do, this Mojo bag contains my dreams. Dreams for the show, dreams for the people who watch the show. And it will hold your dreams. And every time you look at this Mojo bag, you can think about what your intuition told you about your dreams. They're worth having, they're important, and here's a little physical reminder about how to create your Mojo bag of dreams. Join me next week with Shiloh Sophia McLeod, an internationally famous artist and founder of the Guild of Intentional Creatives. She will read poetry and pose questions and thoughts on living a creative life. See you then.